Hey, what's going on? This is Ricardo with the Code 7 Podcast Network, and we're about to get started with Open Mic Live. We are here live from Galveston, Texas for the Texas Public Safety Conference 2022. We are back. The last time our asses were here was in 2019. It was a good time, and I am happy to be back. But first, as always, a word from our sponsors.
At InDigital, we know that public safety professionals hold themselves to a high standard. In fact, standard doesn't do it justice. In over 25 years working alongside you, carrying millions of calls over our IP networks, your dedication has inspired us. That's why our ESINet goes beyond industry standards, not only I3 compliant, but designed to adapt to future development for a network you can count on when it matters most. Learn more at indigital.net.
Here in Greenville County, we have 8 different places where a 911 call can be answered.
It is the largest county in South Carolina. It's a challenge.
The type of information that a telecommunicator gets from Radius Plus is location-based technology. You can see where the caller is, if they have a medical issue, if they speak a different language. They're immediately able to text to that caller in their native language. It reduces response times because it immediately gets first responders where they need to be.
If Within the Trenches has ever taught you something, open your eyes to what it is like to be a 911 dispatcher, or has inspired you to become one, then help support us and join our Patreon. Get exclusive bonus content, one-of-a-kind swag, discounts on merchandise, ad-free early access to new episodes, and much more. To join, please visit patreon.com/WTT podcast. And if you're an industry partner, we have something for you as well. And now, for the show.
This is Jordan, and you're listening to the Code 7 Podcast Network.
Warning. This episode contains the 3 A's of podcasting: adult content, adult language, and awesomeness. You've been warned.
Dispatch.
There is no one over here to cook our lunch. We are waiting for our lunch, and there's no one here to cook our lunch.
All right, calm down. Where are you at?
The group home. Now, what are you going to do?
We'll get some help over there for you, okay?
Welcome to Open Mic, where we visit the lighter side of dispatch, because laughing is good medicine.
Oh shit, here we are. We are back and we are live. This is Open Mic Live. Once again, we're here for the Texas Public Safety Conference and we are live from the vendor hall. This is the opening reception that's going on right now. We got people that are walking around. You might hear them in the background a little bit. When the doors first opened, everyone was cheering. So that was pretty interesting. I'm guessing a welcome back. And before we get to that, I have 2 guests with me here today. Your names, please.
My name is Crystal.
And my name is Terry.
All right, Crystal and Terry, welcome. When we first started out, it was trying to get them to come in. I was like, let's do this. We can do this. Let's do this together. So this is going to be fun. I'm excited to have you here. Also, want to give a shout out to the sponsors. So this live broadcast, as always, is sponsored by InDigital as well as Rapid Deploy and Carbine. And a big shout out to patrons, as always, for everything. Thank you so very much. And also a shout out to Mike Aurora, dude from Aurora Designs. He hooked us up with these lights here. We've got Sons of Dispatch, Daughters of Dispatch, and 9 Wonder Women Inc. And these are going to be part of the giveaways that we're going to be doing. These are actually lights. I went live and didn't have enough time to turn them on or anything. Plus, it might screw with your eyes or something if I have them on the whole time.
Yeah.
So we'll leave it off for now. But as always with Open Mic, we usually do this on Thursdays. We're doing this Sunday evening. How are you feeling? How are you doing? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shitty and 10 being awesome, how are you feeling? I've only had about 3.5 hours of sleep today, but I would say I'm at a 9. How are you feeling on a scale of 1 to 10? What would you say?
I've had a cocktail.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm at an 8 or a 9.
Yeah, very
Later
nice.
I'll be at a 10.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Terry is at 8 or 9. Crystal, you said?
About an 8. We're
An
away. we're not really working right now.
Yeah.
Away from work for 5 days. That's like amazing.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. So, when you are, is this the first time that you have been to this conference, or how many times have you been here?
This is my second time.
Second
I
time?
was here when they last had it in 2019.
Excellent.
This is my first time for Texas because I moved here from out of state. So I've been to a lot of Nina's, but not in Texas.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing what the Texas beach is. It's really not a beach, you guys.
Well, excellent.
It's true. You guys don't know what a beach is. I'm sorry.
Right. I don't know. I'm not messing with Texas. As they say, don't mess with Texas.
Texas.
So we've got people that are jumping in here. Also, roll call. As always, roll call. Where are you watching from? What are you watching on? All of that good shit. We've got Davine here saying hello. She's a 10. She's a 10. Very nice. Out of Washington. James is a 10 as well.
Good.
And then let's see,
Hey,
we've got Tracy up in here. She's out of the Poconos, out of PA. Very nice, very nice. So this is Open Mic Live. We're going to be sharing some funny 911 stories here and stuff. So if you have any funny 911 stories, please throw them in the comments and I read them verbatim. Okay, so let me tell you. There have been times where I've been doing this at night and my mom will sometimes hop into the audience.
Oh.
And then it's almost like a challenge for someone to give me some raunchy ass story to read because they know that I'm already sweating and red because my mom is in the audience.
Are you a
And,
mama's boy?
I mean, aren't we all kind of?
No.
I love you, Mom. Yeah, no.
He loves you.
Hi, Mom.
I'll still say the shit. And then she'll send me a message later on. Sometimes she won't pop on at all. And at the end of it, after I've said some crazy shit, crazy 911 stories that people have been sharing, I'll get a text message right after and she'll say, "Great job. That was a good show." I'm like, oh my God, she just heard all of that.
Like, what is happening?
Exactly.
She only knew some of the things you experienced under these headsets.
Right. Yeah. A lot of stuff. Like, okay, so let's start with some funny stories. Let's start with some stuff. Now, as you were saying, we'll stick with what you were saying. Some of the crazy stuff you heard under these headsets. How many times have you been on the phone with somebody and they're like, "I'm going to put down the phone just for a second," and then you start hearing ping or something? It's like, dude, for real?
No, it's the vomiting for me.
Oh, no
in your
shit.
ear. Yeah, I hate that. I literally have to mute it and just, I can't deal with that. Like, take care of your business. Yeah, mute me. Yeah, I can't deal with that.
Oh,
I was like, can you pick up my call? I can't take this anymore.
See, I like I said, I did it for 13 and a half years, and I don't remember actually having someone vomiting in the background, just like, just
I hate that.
projectile.
I could top that, though.
Oh,
People do not like vomiting. I agree because my kids vomiting will make me vomit. But I have had a dispatcher on the floor have people vomit and then throw up themselves.
Yeah.
At work.
what?
Yeah, I can't do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
no
would
way.
literally put them on hold or muted and be like, can you take my call?
while you're dry heaving yourself, like,
Yeah, like,
uh.
yeah.
I have
can't-
no clue if she watches. So
Yeah.
hi, Ashley, if you're watching.
Yeah, I can't deal with that. That is
Well, yeah, and it's worse though, right? When you've got that dry heave going, but then you're holding it
But
back.
you still have to help them.
Right, you still have to help them. But
Third round.
you've got that part with your mouth where you're kind of going like
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. See, and that's some of the shit that happens when you're taking 911 calls. Now, there's a lot of people that watch this as well that are from the general public, and I like to have them on because they get to learn. They get to learn from this stuff, especially the funny stuff. Now, somebody here, Davine says, "Sympathy puker here. Other things I'd rather hear."
For sure.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's yeah.
So,
It's better than some of the things you see on the live drunk tank camera.
oh my lord, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Well, so there's a lot of places we could go with these stories. So one of the things, like we were talking in the beginning, not all of the stories that I share our public safety. You know, some of the times they're travel stories, and it seems like whenever I travel, something crazy happens. So like, and some of the people here in the audience have heard this before, but I'll tell you this as well, just in case you've never heard it. But and it always happens in Detroit. I think Detroit is the only place that has the bathrooms like this in their airport. So when you go to lock it, it like locks this much. And I remember one time, sorry, I apologize. I'm in the stall, you know, like,
Well, I already know.
you know, pregame before you get on the plane, because I don't want to go to the bathroom on the plane.
Yeah, no, that's
So I hear this guy running in. He's like, and I'm like, oh no! Like, please do not, don't sit next to me. Like, courtesy stall, you know?
Yeah, skip
Go
a
one,
stall.
skip
Yeah,
a stall. Do what you got to do. No, he didn't. He is running in and rips the door open. Not to my stall. Not to my stall. rips the door open to the stall next to me. But when he does it, all of the stalls shift to the side. So the lock, it ends up coming unlocked, and my door starts opening, and I'm like, hell no.
God.
And there's a mirror there, and all I could think was, if some other dude comes in, we're gonna lock eyes.
This is it. This
Yeah,
is it.
like,
This is it. Yeah.
My
this
favorite is the ones who talk on the phone while they're in the bathroom.
oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Like, is it really that important? I purposely make more noises just for all of you people who do that. I will fake them. I will cough. I will flush my toilet over and over again just to try to embarrass you.
Yeah.
One
Nobody
of
needs
the Devine, who said she was a sympathy puker, she just put a little emoji on there with the green face, and it looks like
So
Yeah.
gross.
Like, ew.
well. So after that happened, I mean, I have to shut the door somehow. So I'm like trying to get over there.
Oh
But
my
then just
God.
push and reach. Like,
Well, because
it's not that far. You got
it
short
goes
arms?
out the other
You
way.
got short arms? Oh,
no,
the other
it-
way?
yeah, it was the other way for
Oh,
whatever
so you gotta
reason.
get up and pull it
Yeah,
in.
so you
like
got to
way
get up.
up.
So you're like, you know, like,
But then you get up
Like
and everyone
Yosemite
sees
Sam.
your goods.
yeah. I mean, shit happens. Literally,
Literally.
literally.
Hopefully not on the ground when you stand up
I-
to
Oh my God.
You just clinch it. You know, you just clinch.
Lock them cheeks. Lock them cheeks.
But
Lock them.
so then, oh my God, you broke me. So then earlier today, I my connecting flight was in Hotlanta, GA, and I get in there, and this guy again, not the same guy. I don't know if it was the same guy, but some dude is coming in, and he's just kind of like grunting, and then he just starts going pee, and all I hear is, yep. And I was like, all right.
So
Like-
at least like,
I don't know. I didn't see him,
Oh my God.
but it's like,
it's because he was dropping a dick.
you got to drop heat, dude. Like,
Let the beat drop.
You said you wanted this interesting.
Oh my God.
yeah, man. So I don't know, but that dude was having it was satisfying, I guess. It was
Yeah,
satisfying.
very.
It's like when you have
Relieving.
a drink after a hard day or something, and you're like, oh yeah, that's the one. That's what he was doing. He was in beast mode, and dudes are gross. So.
That's true.
Yeah.
So a good buddy, Hank Hunt from here, his wife, he's like, you have DJ rolling, so she's busting up at us. This is great.
Pure entertainment. for
Yes.
Sure.
So you mentioned a couple stories, and I want to start out first because it has to do with language and like speech, like speaking and stuff. And I've shared the story before, but I don't know that you two have heard it before, so I want to share it again. And what happened was that one of my coworkers, she's on main phones, okay? And I'm on backup phones and radios. I'm the supervisor that night. And then I'm sitting next to the person who's on main law enforcement radio. And, excuse me, we're sitting there, and the main call taker, she gets a phone call. And all I keep hearing her, like, you can tell she's getting frustrated. And she's like, sir, I'm trying to understand you. And so she was sending me messages, and she goes, I think the person speaks Spanish. You might have to translate. And I was like, all right, well, let me listen in. And I sent her a message, and I was like, it doesn't sound like a Spanish accent. I said, but I mean, I'll take it over if you want. And she's like, let me just try. So then she's getting more frustrated, and she finally yells out over the phone, "Sir, I don't understand you. I don't speak Spanish." And then she goes, "Oh, okay." And my coworker and I were like, "What happened?" So we got in the playback. So what happened was when she said, "Sir, I don't speak Spanish," he goes, "I don't either. I'm Indian."
Yeah, I'm so used because we have a lot of Hispanics in Texas.
Yeah.
Like, no matter if they speak Mandarin, I'm used to I would tell Arabic, Chinese, uno momento, because we're so used to saying that. And they was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I tell everybody uno momento, and it's like, I'm Arabic. What are you talking about? I don't speak Spanish.
Well,
because you're so used to saying that.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we ended up doing, being the good co-workers that we are, is we just continued playing that part on the playback. And she is flipping us off while she's on the phone still. And the dude it was a motorist assist. But it was one of the most hilarious things ever for us to be sitting there. And she's like, "You guys are assholes. Why did you keep playing it? I could hear you." And I was like, that was the point. So we knew it wasn't like an emergency. The person just had a messed up tire. They were just calling for motorist assist.
Yeah. And she was like,
Sometimes we need to laugh.
I know, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes, you need to laugh in this job, or you're going to end up burning out.
Yeah. I told in the caller I don't speak English before. And she laughed at me, and I was laughing too. I was like, "Girl, I just got here."
Because you meant to say something different.
Yeah, I was like, "I don't speak." I was trying to say, she was like, "Do you speak Spanish?" And I was like, "No, I don't speak English." And she chuckled, and I chuckled, and we got over it. But yeah, I literally just walked in the door and sat down, and I was just like, "No, not today."
See, and that happens a lot, right? So when I remember a shift, I was going in, and I was relieving the guy on radios, and there was it was a verbal domestic only, nothing physical. It was a verbal domestic. And he must have had like a shit day on radios or something, because, and also, I don't know how you two are when you're on the radios and you're giving something out, but like for me, I wouldn't always read what was in there first. And then some things would catch me off guard and I would like chuckle. I'm like, oh God, or mess up completely.
Do that all the time.
Yes. So he didn't read it. So he didn't read it. And then he ends up giving out all the information and everything. And he ends up saying, caller advised that his wife is giving him shit. And I stood there and he unkeyed and he sat up. And I said, dude. And one of the deputies keyed up and he's like, you can tell he's laughing. And he goes, Central, what was that again? And then he keys up again and he goes, his wife was giving him shit. It's been a long day.
Oh my God.
And then he unkeyed and the deputy is laughing over the radio and he's like, 10-4 Central, I'll be headed that way. And I'm looking at this dude and he goes, yeah. And I said, you just did that. And he goes, yeah, I did that. I was like, I'm going to have to pull that, like, cause just so that we can keep it.
Oh, wow.
Because that's the stuff that happens, right?
It does.
There's open mic stuff.
It is very true. So one of my old agencies put a few of us through a Korean immersion program because we had a lot of it in our city of people that spoke Korean. And some of us tried very hard, but just couldn't pick it up. I mean, when you only did it once a week, and I mean, we practice on certain stuff. But I said one day, I don't like to do this, and I was not trying to say that. But they laughed, and then I had no clue because they started speaking too fast, and I was like, I'm just going. And everyone else around me was just laughing, and they replayed it in the next week's class. But it was kind of funny.
So hold on a minute. You said that you don't want to do this, or you don't like doing this.
Don't like doing this
in the language.
Yes,
that is amazing.
And it wasn't even what I was trying to say, at all. But it was a phrase that we would.
I was going to say, what were you trying to say?
It was more like we were just dealing with the gradients and trying to figure it out because we were talking about a neighbor dispute. I don't even know. It made no sense, and it was just like, but they were like, huh? Like it was just like it was, yeah. But it got played and it's shared, and then on our whole PD conference or like annual banquet kind of thing. It got played over that too.
Oh,
wow.
man,
Yeah.
that is hilarious.
So language is not my part.
So before we get to some of the other stories here, I want to tell a story that I have. It's something that I've been holding on to for a long time.
Oh, this better be good if you've been holding on to it for a long time.
Yes. So I'm going to share a picture for everyone who's watching here, and of course, it's not going to show it. Are you kidding me? I should have shut this and then reset it. No, I don't want to reload it here. Oh no, it's not going to let me
What is
to
it a
share
picture
it.
of?
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can share it here on the screen. Oops, where is it? Come on.
Well, you better make sure you're sharing that right photo there.
Yes, it's this right here. So I'm showing them first.
What's funny about that?
So I'm just gonna show this so that you know that that's the picture. So last summer, I was at the National Lena Conference, and I ended up getting an email from someone asking me if I wanted to be on a TV show. So I thought it was fake, and I didn't answer it. And then I showed it to a good friend of mine, Leah, and Alabama Leah, that is, before Michigan Leah, I think it was.
That's a lot of Leos.
Yes, it is. And they're both amazing. I love you both.
Are they friends?
Yes, we all are. So,
Or are they more than friends?
no.
Leah, we might find out the truth today.
So I showed her the email, and she goes, I know that producer's name. I've seen that name on a TV show before. She goes, you should contact that person. So I did. And the person called me right away and said, would you like to be on this show? You need to fly out next week to do it. So I said, hell yes, I want to go do it. And I went out there, had probably one of the most amazing experiences ever. And I'm going to show another picture here. And let's see. Now if I can find it, where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. So this is it right here. That's me on stage. I'm going to show it here. I'm going to share this picture later as well on social media because it's kind of hard to see. But when you zoom in, right on the screen, it says, So Dumb It's Criminal, hosted by Snoop Dogg.
Oh my God.
So, this show is finally going to air. And it airs on Peacock. And if it's Snoop Dogg. So we're in April. So what day do you think it's going to air?
420.
Damn right.
Blow that smoke.
That's
No,
right. Smoke it up. Inhale, exhale.
420.
Just got an ounce in the mail. Yeah, so
Snoop Dogg.
so
You know how I shared about my drunk tank story earlier? It was regarding a Snoop Dogg concert.
Oh, I thought it was him. I thought you were
No,
I was like,
no,
what?
no.
Coming down the
It was
thing.
the events that
Oh my
happened after a Snoop Dogg concert.
That is
Oh my
badass.
I got some good drunk tank conversation there.
So I ended up flying out there, and I ended up parking in this one parking lot that they wanted me to go to. The studio is the studio that Kevin Hart owns.
Oh.
So I ended up going over there, and it was hot as hell. And I remember they were telling me, or they asked me what I wanted for lunch or whatever. Like, we got a trailer for you and everything. I was like, are you serious? I was like, I wasn't expecting any of that. Okay, that's cool. So I told them, and I was sitting there in my car. They're like, we'll let you know when we're ready for you. So I'm getting stuff ready because what they wanted me to do was to go there and share funny 911 stories.
Yeah.
And mostly about dumb criminals. So what I ended up doing is I'm sitting there, I'm preparing, and then I get a text message from the producer that says, we need you right now. I was like, okay. So I have to walk like a couple blocks to get over there. But when I got onto the block, where the studio was. The smell of weed was tremendous. Oh my God. I wanted to get a bag of Funyuns already right there because
you were already like, yeah.
I know. I was like,
this is
let's do this.
Yeah.
So
Hanging out.
right. So I end up going there. I smell everything. I'm like, Snoop's got to be around here somewhere. And I'm standing in front of the building and there's a gate and chains. And I was like, okay, like what the hell is going on? Like where am I supposed to go? And then I hear someone yelling my name and I turn around. Well, they were all on the back lot. So I end up going out there and they introduced me to Jay Farrow. And I meet him, get to talk to him for a little bit. And then they take me right upstairs. So then I'm sitting in this little room with this big ass camera, kind of like this, the way it's facing, but the camera's way, way bigger.
Yeah.
And there are like 4 or 5 people there. And they're like, all right, who are you? What are your stories? And go and go and go and go and go. So one of the stories that I did not get a chance to share on there, which I wanted to, when I first started dispatching, I dispatched in Florida. And I was working midnight shift. And this was a dumb criminal story. And one of the officers ends up pulling over a guy who's got a warrant and he ends up taking off. So we got to get the county to show up to have a canine come out to help him look. Well, they end up, the canine ends up going behind this house where there's this above ground pool. And the dog is just barking at the pool. And it's the middle of the night. And the officers are like, what the hell? Like, what is going on? Why is the dog doing this? So they take off. And the dog keeps coming back. And it was like the 3rd or 4th time or something, the dog is by the pool. So the officers are like, well, let's look a little closer. And what they see...
He was in the pool?
Yes! There was a straw that was
Oh,
above the water. They couldn't see it. They could not see this straw. That dude was underwater the
Breathing
entire
through the
time,
straw.
breathing through the straw.
Oh my
That's pretty
God.
smart, man.
Right? So
Where did he get the straw from? That's
exactly. That's what I keep saying.
Right?
You know that
With
was
the straw?
used, too.
I know. Did he take out?
Yeah.
Like,
See,
that's so
just
weird.
another.
just gonna share all the gross stuff.
Yes. So that was one of the stories that I wanted to share on there that I didn't get a chance to, but there were a bunch of other ones that I shared. So for months, I have been watching my email because Peacock will send, email saying, this is what's new coming on. So I was checking and finally, just a couple days ago, it showed on there. So Dumb It's Criminal, airing on 4/20, which is perfect, of course. And it's both Snoop and Kevin Hart. So I sent an email to the producer and I said, well, now that it's going to air, I can finally share this story and share these pictures. Did my stories make the cutting room floor?
No.
They didn't. Son of a bitch.
You were this close.
Oh my
This close.
God. So
Funny, but not
close.
funny.
You were
enough.
there. You were in the room.
Yes. Yeah.
Right there.
Well, see, 'cause
Okay, now you get to share one of these funny stories.
okay, I'll share another one here in just one moment. But one of the things that they were going to do is they were going to share like information about the podcast and everything else. And I was like, oh, now it did. But so they had hours and hours and hours of footage.
Yeah.
And there's 8 episodes and they're only 30 minutes each. And I was like, hell. It's like, you couldn't put like a 30-second one in there? Like, come on. Like, there were so many that we recorded.
Especially when they flew you out there and all.
Yes, but it was an amazing experience. It was great. The area I was in was questionable, I guess, but I got to eat me some Del Tacos, so that.
I miss Del Taco. I will tell you that. Yep. From California originally. Don't hate me for that, but I miss Del Taco.
Oh,
We need it out here.
it was pretty good. Yeah, I flew into Burbank, and then I forget where I went from there, but it was where all the studios were, and it was a lot of fun. So one of the other stories that I ended up sharing there, dumb criminal story. A lot of people have probably heard this one, but there was a guy who called late at night, as it always happens, and he was drunk off his ass, and he just kept yelling at me, dispatcher, I need you to send an officer over here. And I said, okay, like for what? Like, what's the issue? What's going on? And he goes, and the last time I told the story, I did it with kind of a drunk voice. So I think I'm going to try that again. And he goes, I just need you to send somebody over here because I got kicked out of a bar and I want to prove that I wasn't as drunk as they thought I was. So I want the officer to come give me a breathalyzer test.
So you want to go to jail? The public income.
Right. Yeah.
But-
He called like 6 or 7 times over and over.
Like begging, please
Yes.
take me to jail.
Yes.
please.
Begging for an officer to go over there, and I almost said for an officer to go over there and share a story. No, that's not what I meant. For an officer to go over there and give him that breathalyzer test, and he hung up, and I will never forget him just yelling, "Dispatcher, do your job, dispatcher," and like at first I was annoyed, but then it sounded so funny that I had to bite my lip and put my ear or my mouthpiece up so that I could laugh because he was so funny. And I had gotten hold of one of the troopers that was available, and I said, "Look, this guy keeps calling 911. He wants an officer to go out there and give him a breathalyzer test." And then I told him why, and he goes, "We are not going to do that."
We're
And he
trying
goes,
to save you from going to jail, sir.
"Yes." And he goes, "However, if he calls one more time, I will go out there and arrest him for abuse of 911.
Yeah.
And I said, "All right. We'll see what happens." And the dude did call. He ended up calling again. He's like, "You're going to do your job, dispatcher? You're going to send somebody out here finally?" My voice cracked. I'm like 13 years old again.
Oh my God.
So
Are you nervous?
maybe a little bit. So then
It's Terry's beauty.
Oh my God. No.
so I end up I end up telling him finally. I say, "You know what, sir? You're right. I should do my job. I'm going to send an officer out there because you know what? We're here to help. I will send somebody out there to you."
There you go.
Yeah,
Did
and
you
he goes,
want to-
"It's about time. It's about time, dispatcher."
Oh my God.
So, and then he goes, "I just want to tell you one more thing." And I said, "Okay, what else?" And he goes, "You tell your officer that I don't mess around."
Okay,
And-
sir.
yeah,
So
and I
while you're
said, "You
riding
know
the
what?
back of the SWAT,
I will make sure to tell him that. I'll make sure to tell him that." He's like, "Okay, thank you." Hang up with him. Get the trooper on the secondary channel, and I said, "Our friend called back," and he goes, "All right." He goes, "I'll be headed out there," and I said, "Okay." I said, "He wanted me to let you know though that he doesn't mess around," and he starts laughing on the radio, and he's like, "I'll remember that. I'll keep that in mind." So they end up going out there. He's got someone for backup, and he checks out. He's not even out there 5 minutes, and he goes, "Got one in custody."
Sir, come on, just line them up. Yeah, just line them up. Let's take your ride.
Oh,
Ride.
and actually, before I got off the phone with him that last time, I said, "Sir, I just wanted to ask you one more thing, to clarify something while we're on the phone." And he goes, "Okay, what?" And I said, "You said that you got kicked out of such and such bar, which is at the most southern point of our county. And you gave me your address, which is at the most northern point of our county.
Like you drove.
Did you drive home?" And he goes, "That's not the point, dispatcher. That's not the point. The point is they kicked me out, and I just want to prove that I wasn't as... I spent a lot of money there." I was like, "Shit, bitch, you're going to spend a lot more money here
Trying to
soon."
get out of jail.
Right? There's no get out of jail free card, motherfucker. You're gonna go in. And this was years and years and years ago, so I can call you a motherfucker. But so I ended up getting a letter of recommendation from the trooper because he listened to all the tapes and he sent it to the director and was like, "You need to hook him up."
Yeah.
'Cause-
He had
Yes.
to listen to all of it.
Yes, he did well. I did well. It was good. One of the things I was telling you both before we went live, and this is a story that I shared last week as well, but it was about the stolen placenta.
Oh. Can you just imagine
Oh my
if you were listening last week? Can you imagine stealing a placenta?
Oh my God.
Right. I mean,
like what?
The only thing I can think of is the fact that this person, and I don't know when this happened exactly, but let's just say it happened recently, okay? I can only imagine the reason the person did this is because, Mari, he's retiring.
Yeah, he's
And
out
it's
of the
like,
game.
yeah, he's like, shit, son,
Done.
I'm not
Ain't
going to be able to
figure
go
out
over
who that
there.
baby
So I
daddy
gotta
is.
go.
Right. Yeah, he's not going to get those results or anything like that. And so instead, he went into the person's truck and got that doggy bag out that had the placenta in it.
She was probably gonna make placenta pills with that.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
yeah.
Some people eat it, Terry.
No.
With vegetables.
Oh,
And
what's wrong with
that was one of the things that we were laughing about last time was that it that it's probably like, you know, those frozen vegetables that you get at the store. They're in a bag and you have to, you know, boil it and steam them. I mean, so steamed placenta.
Speaking of vegetables, do you like sweet potatoes?
I do.
I'll tell you a funny story about sweet potatoes.
Do it.
I dare you.
I dare you. We had a guy call and ask for an ambulance.
Okay.
And he said he needed it because he had something stuck in his rectum. And I asked questions, and sometimes, you know, you guys, we all say we shouldn't ask questions. And I asked what was stuck in there. And he said he shoved a sweet potato too far up there. And so let me just tell you, later on they came by with
Was
some
this Thanksgiving?
photos to show us a sweet potato. And this sweet potato was like this big. Oh my gosh, I can't eat sweet potatoes.
God.
But I did eat some of her sweet potato fries
And they
today.
were bomb.
And I did think because there's some things that are going to stick with you. But I usually don't eat sweet potatoes.
That's something that was stick.
It does.
love
Like, could
sweet
you
potatoes.
imagine? Oh my gosh. But I can only imagine how embarrassed you are that you got a sweet potato up your rectum and you got to call for help.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Sir Mix-a-Lot back in the 90s that
The hamster.
made a song? No, he made a song that was called Sweet Potato Pie.
Maybe. That was another famous person with a hamster.
Oh my
It was a
god.
gerbil, actually. You've never heard this story?
No, I don't think so.
It's a famous person that put a gerbil up their booty.
Oh my.
Has anyone heard this and know who I'm talking
yes,
about?
yes. So those who are in the
We need
audience
to know
right
this.
now, I want to know anybody in the audience here
And
who
maybe
has
I'll tell
heard
you who it
this
was.
story. We got somebody here that says
His first name starts with an R, if that helps you.
this we've got someone here that says excuse me, I left the ones that are getting arrested, and you still have an open 911 line, and you hear them telling the officers, I didn't call 911. The officers pick up the phone and say, 911, you can hang up now.
Yeah,
That happens
we've
a
had
lot.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have that. Yeah.
So let's see. This other one says that's going to open this up for open mic after hours. My RP had an issue with a light bulb.
Oh,
my
yeah.
god.
Okay.
Yeah. You can
Oh
use
my
the sweet
God.
potato and the light bulb together. There you go.
With the gerbil.
See, and
It's
that's
like
not.
food and a snack all in one.
And that's the crazy thing, right? Because you're talking
My
about a
staff's
light
gonna be
bulb
like,
and a
"What?"
sweet potato. Usually, when someone has a good idea, it's a light bulb. But
Not in this
I don't know
case.
about this.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Especially if it's a broken light bulb.
oh God!
Oh my god.
You are all welcome for that content.
Oh my.
You asked me to be honest.
I did. She's correct.
Oh my god.
I did ask.
He wanted me to share my skirt story more than anything, but that's okay. You get the gerbil.
The sweet potato thing, like
Can you imagine?
Yeah. When I first started, we had one that had a sword, like a sword. Yeah, like a sword.
what?
They brought us pictures of
Yeah.
that sweet potato. Just show us.
Did it have marshmallows?
No,
Oh my god.
but it's a little mashed up.
That's that.
Oh,
Here's your little barbecue
Oh.
pieces. You're welcome.
sweet potato pie.
Now you're all gonna think about us during
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
sweet potato pie.
Oh my god.
Or if you go down the street and have some sweet potato,
Oh my God! The next time
you'll think of me.
this is horrible. But I love it. This is good. This is really good. And let's see. Oh, hold on. Someone said yes, the hamster song, and another person here says yes. I am from South Jersey. The folklore was a weatherman from PA.
Oh wow. Oh my.
Oh my God! So is this a thing? Like,
Yeah,
because
it's like a foot fetish, but with gerbils.
uh,
Ugh.
Oh my god.
Oh my Lord.
Oh my god.
This is, it only takes one story a lot of the times for the rest to go downhill. This one went downhill and up in there.
Down and up in there.
Way up.
This is a good, I'm going to end up taking the audio from this, and I think I'm going to make this an episode as well in the podcast because this is hilarious. There are, see, and this is why I love doing this as well, because not all 911 is bad. There are a lot of hard shit, things that we deal with, a lot of hard calls, but that's what Open Mic Live is about. This is the lighter side of dispatch because, as I put on there, laughing is good medicine.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
as we said earlier, sometimes there are they're just things that you hear that you think that's the worst thing, or that's the funniest thing, or that's the craziest thing, and then bam, sweet potato pie
In the butt.
Like, remember that call we had not too long ago about the guy that shot himself?
You can share it.
Oh no, that's very. They would probably be able to look that call up.
Nah.
This guy shot himself in the groin on accident.
You decided to just have
See-
that gun loose
Okay.
in there, and he kind of repositioned himself in the barber
and
shop.
it went off and boom.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Right in the,
right in the coin sack. Damn it, that's the worst. Like I you can't see it, but I went like, oh, like I cringed a little bit. I remember one night there was a call that I took where this guy had been shot in the thigh, and it was nuts. Like, we had tons of people going out there, and the guys like, he's in the garage. He's in the garage. Well, they end up getting out there, and they're like, Central, slow everybody down. And I'm like, okay, what happened? It turned out that the guy was so embarrassed because he was cleaning his gun, and he shot himself in the thigh. He was so embarrassed that he made up a story
that somebody
else shot
We've
him.
had those.
Yeah, I was like, dude, like just you're gonna get in trouble, man.
Yeah.
Like,
You can't make up that somebody shot you.
I know.
They're running cold looking for a suspect.
Right, exactly,
Like, no.
exactly.
gun
Oh.
safety.
Yes.
We need to educate on that.
Now, there are some stories, some incidents that happen and stuff that don't happen in dispatch. There was an escalator, right, or something.
Yeah.
Oh my.
What happened?
Oh my God.
And the only reason I bring this up is because I would like you, Terry, to tell me how you would dispatch it. Like if somebody called and they were like, "Oh my God, we have this going." So go ahead and tell it, and then we'll kind of play this out.
So I was at Cowboys Stadium for an event, and I was wearing a maxi skirt, going down the escalator to head out. Luckily, the event was over, and was leaving, and my skirt got stuck in the escalator, and someone up a little higher than us had a maxi skirt on too, and their skirt got stuck as well. So I am pulling.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
pulling.
When you said it originally, there was
to one
two.
of it, yes, and I knew who she was, which was really, it was even funnier. We still joke, okay, this has been about 6 years. Every time it shared on a memory, it was actually like 3 weeks ago, so it's funny that it was there. But we were pulling on our skirts, and it got all the way to the bottom, and it ripped it completely off, and so we ran for the doors as fast as we could in our underwear, and I made a lot of new friends that day.
Oh my God.
6 years ago, before a few babies, and I was a lot skinnier then, so at least I made some friends.
Made some friends. They bought you drinks or
We
something.
ran to the car, and then we were supposed to go all out for a night after that, and
Didn't happen.
it didn't happen.
So if I was the one calling 911, like, how would you dispatch that?
Why
Like,
are you calling us, first of all?
of
it's a
course,
skirt.
this is
Like,
a
it's a
scenario.
skirt.
We're just
But it's now like almost
She got
indecent
her-
exposure,
because
unless
I
if
know
you liked it.
because
She got her
You-
panties in a wad. That's it. Officer, can you start around to this panties in a wad?
I just say because I feel like the way people are. Everyone has a cell phone, of course.
Oh, I'm
2022.
sure my
And
ass is
someone-
on photos.
She
somewhere.
ass out, ass out, ass
I
out.
love that skirt too, and it stayed on the bottom. They had to hit the emergency button and stop it. Sorry, all of
Oh
you
my
that had to
God.
walk down those stairs.
Okay,
But yeah, look, see,
So-
it's another butt story.
It is.
It's like the butt
So-
up.
so here it is. Ma'am, I'm not sure if I really don't think that this is a reason to call 911. But there are two ladies that are in front of me. They're in the escalator, and they're like stuck. They're stuck. Ma'am, are you there?
Sir, look at here, sir.
Yeah.
Does she have her panties in a wad?
I'm trying not to look.
Sir,
I'm trying to be respectful.
The fire department or the police?
Like I said, I'm not really sure if this is an actual emergency or not, but they're struggling, and I don't know. What if they get caught or something? Like what if their leg ends up going? I don't know what to do here. I'm just watching them. What if they fall, smash their face?
We don't dispatch off. What if? Is it happening, sir? What is going on, sir?
Okay.
Are you?
I saw their maxi.
She got her panties in a wad.
Okay, I said maxi and paused. That was not good.
Yeah,
it could have been a lot worse.
I know.
All I could think of, and I could vividly remember holding my skirt, and when it just went all the way off, I'm like, oh my god, it ripped completely. And then I was like, please don't lose your underwear.
Did you? I was like, yeah. Did you
Girl,
have
that could have been so
underwear?
much. Yes. Underwear on.
Did you?
Obviously, Terry over here doesn't wear underwear in her maxi skirts. She's gonna hate you.
Yes. Yes.
I'd be like, ma'am, it just ripped, and their pretzels fell. I don't know what's going on.
Pretzels.
I'm just saying that you guys had food and
You carried
drinks.
pretzels in your underwear.
No, you were holding on to it while trying to wrestle with your skirt and drinks. The drinks and pretzels fell.
Sir, go look for security. That's not a police matter.
Okay, thank you.
It
Have a
was
good
when we
day.
were naked in
I
the parking
appreciate
lot. Some guy
Indecent
did run
exposure.
after us and follow us out there, and he did give me his
Oh, that was
button-up
nice.
shirt.
Oh, I like how you said butt and up shirt.
It's the proper way, button up.
Is it really?
Pronounce your T's. Everyone always says that. I don't know. It's just not a Texas thing, I guess. Because it's where I came from. It's like my accent, my Texas accent.
I remember I had a call with this guy called, and he was like, we found a rat, and I thought he was saying he was in a wreck.
Mhm.
And it was like, because it was a language barrier, and he was like, no, we found a rat. And I was like, okay, sir, what do you want us to do with a rat? He was like, can y'all come rescue the rat? And I was like, sir, no, this is 911. And he was like, but we found a rat. I was like, let him just run free in the world. And he just thought that was so funny. He was like, okay, have a good day. I was like, sir, this is the police department. We don't rescue rats. Like, I was like, is it in your house? He was like, no, I have them in a box. Can you send somebody to rescue the rat? No, absolutely not.
What? Like, no, let Splinter go.
Yeah, just let it
Sheesh,
run.
let him go back to the
away.
Ninja Turtles. He's fine. There was some audio. I don't have it here right now, but there was some audio that someone sent to me once where he answered a call from a lady who said that her dog was attacked by a skunk, and he's like, okay, like what? Are you okay? Like, are you hurt or anything? She goes, no, sir. I told you my dog was attacked by a skunk. I want someone to do something about it. And he's like, ma'am, we can't go out there and arrest the skunk. Like, dogs and skunks aren't friends.
Oh.
Like, you need.
Oh my God.
But and I say this, and we're laughing and stuff, but you think about it, you don't know what you don't know, right? So a lot of times, and especially because of television, people get the wrong perception of what they should be calling 911 for.
Yeah.
So like something like that, we used to get phone calls because I was dispatching in Michigan. They got huge freaking deer, and these deer would get hit on the road and end up in people's yards. So they would call us and they would say, "Can you guys take the deer out of our yard?" We're like, "No." Like, that's not our job. We don't do that. You need to get a hold of the city or something, or there would be like a raccoon that they thought was like a rabbit or something. I'm like, dude, we can't do anything about your trash panda. Like, it's got to, you either call like a wildlife wrangler or something, or I don't know what you want us to do. They're like, you guys don't take care of this? We're like, no. Like, you don't put it out of its misery? It's like, no.
Yeah, I had a lady the other day asked if we can tranquilize a dog. Can the police come? Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And she's like, I know, because I have, the thin blue line all in my family. Well, then, this is a call you don't call the police.
Wow.
She got mad and hung up on me. Okay, girl.
Thank you. Come again. Like
All right.
we,
Have a good day.
we tried to help you. Well, this has been a lot of fun.
It was.
I am so glad that both of you came on here so that we could share all of these funny stories. And I finally got a chance to share that one story again. There was something I left out of that story with the TV show. So one of the things that I was going to get a chance to do was actually meet Snoop. And everything was so busy and all, I did not get a chance to. So, excuse me. I got that picture there on stage, which was awesome. And we're leaving. And this one main hallway that we were going to go back out, the producer and I go and turn. And when we turn into the hallway, Snoop is right in front of my face.
Oh, wow.
And I just stood there and he's like, hey, what's going on? Excuse me. And I was like, yeah, hi. And I stepped back.
Starstruck.
Yes. Superbly starstruck. And I moved back and he just like nodded and I nodded back and he went and the producer goes, I am so sorry that you didn't get a chance to actually, kind of talk with him. I was like, we talked. Like that was good for me. Even if you didn't get to introduce me by name or whatever, that was worth it.
Moment.
Yes. That was awesome. And when I got home and I told my kids about it, they're like, you saw Snoop? And I was like, yeah.
My kids would say, who's Snoop?
For real?
Yeah.
There's some kid shows on Netflix that Snoop is on, actually, and that's how they know who he is. And then other commercials and everything else. It was really cool. So make sure to check out that show. It's coming out 4/20.
Except you're not on it.
I'm not on it, yes, which sucks. Thank you for the reminder. Damn, that's fucked up.
It's okay.
I know.
We'll have some sweet potatoes on 420 for you.
Yeah.
Oh no, sweet. Oh god, people are going to be sharing that shit now.
You're never not going to think about that the same.
Especially-
Every time you have sweet potatoes.
Especially on Thanksgiving, when I see the marshmallows and everything on there, I'm like, that shit looks like corn.
I got to
Anyway.
send her a message. Stop it.
If you are here for the conference, make sure to check out my session tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. Central Time. And it'll be Imagine Listening. We'll be doing Imagine Listening as well as Open Mic Live.
Nice.
And for the Imagine Listening portion of it, there are going to be support dogs in there. It's going to be awesome. This is the first time that this is happening. They had sent me a message asking if it was okay for them to be in there, because a lot of those stories get very emotional. And I thought, what an amazing idea to have them in there. And depending on how everything goes, every time I do Imagine Listening, I might have support dogs in there, because that is very cool. So
That is cool.
make sure to check that out. We got a lot of stuff coming up, and I'm excited for it. Thank you both for being on once again.
Thank you for having
And
us.
Thanks for having us.
for those who are watching, if you have any comments, questions, or you want to be a guest on the show, you can email us, and that's going to be wttpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter. That is @91podcast. You can like us on Facebook. That is facebook.com/Within the Trenches Podcast. If you're looking for any bonus material, you can check us out and support us on patreon.com/WTT Podcast. And this episode was sponsored by InDigital, Rapid Deploy, as well as Carbine. And shout out to patrons as always. This can be seen on Facebook, YouTube, as well as Twitter. And for patrons only, you get an added perk of audio version of this, but I'm probably going to make this an episode as well for the flagship show Within the Trenches Podcast that can be heard 24/7 on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, your favorite podcasting app, and withinthetrenches.net. Have a good one, everyone. We'll see you in the next one.